धर्म प्रजीत कैतवत्र परम निर्मसरण सदाम वेद्यम वास्तव मत्र वस्तु शिवदम तापुत्र मेलनम श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृति किंवा प्रेरीश्वर सद्य हृदय वरुध्यते अत्र पृथिवी शुश्रूषुभि तत्क्षणात्. By this is Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of all Vedic literature. It speaks about Bhagavad Dharma, Parama Dharma, Nirmasranam Sadam Vedyam. Those who are non-envious devotees, not envious at all, Nirmasranam Sadam means devotees, they can understand this Dharma Tattva, Bhagavad Dharma is not Kaitava Dharma, Prajita Kaitava. That means Kaitava Dharma is condemned, is Nirmasranam Sadam Vedyam, is Bhagavad Dharma, Parama Dharma. Only those devotees who are not envious can understand. What's Kaitava Dharma? Cheating Dharma. Prajapati Prabhu. Bhagavata Dharma, not Kaitava Dharma, is not cheating Dharma. But it's Kaitava Chatushtaya. There are 4 types of cheating Dharma. What is that? Kaitava Chatushtaya. You know? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You understand? These are cheating Dharma. 4 Purusartha, we say. But Dharma Prajita Kaitava. But Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of such a Dharma which is Prajita Kaitava. It's not cheating Dharma. Parama Dharma, Supreme Dharma, Eternal Dharma, Nitya Dharma is Bhagavata Dharma. Those who are non-envious, not envious, such devotees can understand this Dharma Tattva. Sushrusubhi tatkhanat. Such a Shastra, Srimad Bhagavatam, if someone develops this desire that I'll go and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, you understand? Only by development of such desire, the Supreme Lord who is there in your heart becomes awakened. You understand? Sushrusubhi tatkhanat. When he comes and hears this Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source, Bhakta Bhagavato, he develops such prem bhakti that the Supreme Lord who is there in the heart becomes bound up. Sadhya hrudya varudhya tatra krutibhi sushrusubhi tatkhanat. This is the result, effect of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Mamalam Jad Vaisnavanang Priyam Jasmin Paramahansamekam Mamalam Gyanang Parungiyate. This Srimad Bhagavatam, spotless Purana, Bhagavatam Mahapurana, Vaisnavanang Priyam, those who are Vaisnavas, real sadhus Vaisnavas, this Shastra is very dear to them. Jasmin Paramahansamekam Mamalam Gyanang Parungiyate. Tatra jnana viraga bhakti saitam naiskarmya mahaviskutam tatsunan supatan vicharana paro bhaktya vimucche nara. This verse is from 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday also in Gita purport, Prabhupada has mentioned this verse. We are discussing that thing. This Srimad Bhagavatam is but less Purana. This Bhagavatam Mahapurana is very dear to the Vaishnavas. In this Bhagavatam Mahapurana, that supreme truth has been said, and by hearing Sravana Padhana Vichar, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and contemplating and deliberating on its teachings and siddhantas, one can get para bhakti, supreme bhakti, as a result of which the conditional state will be completely destroyed. Arthvayam Brahma Sutranang Bharatartha Vininayo Gayatri Bhasyarupasu Vedartha Paribruhita. It's Garuda Purana says this thing, and Sanatana Goswami has quoted this verse in Haribhakti Vilasa. This Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary on Brahma Sutra Bhashya, and Bharatartha Tatparjyo, whatever is said in Mahabharata, the purport is also given here in Srimad Bhagavatam. Gayatri Bhashyo, the commentary on Gayatri Mantra also, and Sarva Vedartha Vistara, and all the purports of Vedas are spoken here. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. And you'll find the Srimad Bhagavatam begins from this Gayatri Bhashya. Gayatri Arthei Grantha Arambana Satyam Param Samanda Dhimayi Sadhani Prayodhana. Chaitanya Charitamrita will find. It begins with this Gayatri. Satyam Param Dhimahi. That is Gayatri Mantra. It begins from that. So this is Gayatri Bhashya. This is commentary on Gayatri. Krishna Tulya Bhagavato Vihu Sarvasraya Prati Shloki Prati Akhyari Nanartha Koy Bhagavata Tulasi Gangaya Bhaktadani Chaturdha Vigraha Krishna Icharisane is as good as Krishna in every verse, every word, in every letter. There are many, many meanings in it. Bhagavata, Tulasi, Ganga and Bhakta, these are four manifestations of Krishna in this material world. So, दुई स्थाने भागवत नाम सुना जात एको ग्रंथ भागवत और एको भागवत शास्त्र. In two places we hear the name Bhagavata. One is this ग्रंथ भागवत and another is भक्त भागवत, devotee भागवत. दुई भागवत द्वारा दिया भक्ति रस ताहार हृदय तार प्रेम होय बस. Then through these two Bhagavatas, Krishna gives bhakti rasa, mellow bhakti, with prem bhakti, and with that prem bhakti, he becomes bound up. Jao Bhagavata Bhagavad Vaishnava Rasthani Ekanta Astra Guru Chaitanya Charani. Go and approach a Bhakta Bhagavata and study and hear Bhagavata from him and completely take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhagavata Jena Mani Se Javana Samo Tar Sasta Se Janme Janme Prabhu Jama. One who doesn't accept Bhagavata, Mritsa Javan, is to be punished life after life by Jamaraj. This is all glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us come to this text. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 3, text 23. Satat Kichaka Valmika Saha Ojabalanito Sarvavayava Sampanno Vajra Sanghanano Juba Utista Saptahe Mavo Vibhavasur Ivedhasa Satat Kichaka Valmika Saha Ojabalanito Sarvavayava Sampanno Vajra Sanghanano Juba Utista Saptahe Mavo Vibhavasur Ivedhasa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. As soon as he was sprinkled with water from Lord Brahma's water pot, Hiranyakashipu arose and dove with a full body, with limbs so strong that they could bear the striking of a thunderbolt. With physical strength and body luster resembling molten gold, he emerged from the anthill a completely young man, just as fire springs from fuel wood. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Hiranyakashipu was revitalized, so much so that his body was quite competent to tolerate the striking of thunderbolts. He was now a young man with a strong body and a very beautiful body luster resembling molten gold. This is the rejuvenation that took place because of severe austerity and penance. The result of severe austerity and penance. Tapasya. Kathin tapasya. Hiranyakashipu, the demon, underwent very severe tapasya, penance, austerity and penance. Lord Brahma, he pleased Lord Brahma with his severe austerity and penance. Brahma came, he sprinkled the water from his commandal water pot. Then Hiranyakashipu arose into his full body, limbs so strong as they could bear the striking of the thunderbolt. Physical strength and body luster resembling molten gold emerged from the anthill. His body was completely eaten by ants, you see. But he now got back such a body, so strong that could withstand the striking of a thunderbolt, and body resembled as the molten gold, luster of the molten gold, and he sprung up just as fire springs from fuel wood. Such is the result of his severe austerity and tapasya. This question of tapasya. This tapasya penance is very good. Rishabdev has said that thing. Krishna has said. In Bhagavad Gita also you'll find that one should do tapasya. Jat karosi, jat asnasi, jat juhosi, jat dadasi, jat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva madarpanam. Isn't it? Krishna says this thing in Bhagavad Gita. Jat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva madarpanam. If you do some tapasya, then do that tapasya for me, or in other words, offer the result of your tapasya to me. In other words, we may say, one should undergo tapasya, penance, for the pleasure and satisfaction of Supreme Lord Krishna. Not for this, demons also do tapasya. Bhakta, devotees do tapasya, demons also do tapasya. Isn't it? Yeah, demons do tapasya. Hiranyakashipu did such tapasya, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, they did such tapasya. All demons, they also undergo very severe tapasya. But for what purpose tapasya or penance should be done? That is to be understood or should be known. In 5th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam also you'll find this Rishabdev's instructions. Nayam deho dehabhadang nruloke kastan kama naret vidbhudangje tapodivyam putraka jena satyam suddhit jasmad brahma saukyam tu anantam. Isn't it, Prajapati Prabhu? Very famous verse, Rishabdas. My Guru Maharaj very often quotes this verse, isn't it? Very often, it's very popular, famous verse. Nayam deho dehabhadang nruloke kastan kama naret vidbhudangje. Tapo divyam putraka, tapo means tapasya. Tapo divyam putraka, jena satyam suddhit, jasma brahma saukyam tu anantam. Rishabdev instructs his sons. Oh, my dear sons, this human birth or human life is meant for transcendental pleasure, Brahma Saukyam tu Anantam, unlimited transcendental pleasure and happiness. This life is not meant for material sense enjoyment. One should not toil hard like an ass for this material sense enjoyment. Even those who are the hogs, stool-eating hogs, they are also getting that enjoyment. But human being should not do that thing. This human birth is meant for tapasya, tapodivyam putraka, jena saukyam, brahma sukham tu anantam. This human birth is meant for tapasya. So you undergo tapasya, as a result of which you will be cleansed, purified of all material filth. Your heart will be purified, and thereby you will be able to have unlimited transcendental bliss, enjoyment and pleasure. You understand? This is what is tapasya. But the demons also, they do tapasya for getting all these things. Such body, that now this Hiranyakasipu god, which is so strong now, which could bear the striking of thunderbolt. He underwent such severe austerity and penance that whole body, whole flesh was eaten by white ants. Only bone was there. So severe. And thereby he pleased Lord Brahma. Brahma now appeared. He sprinkled the water from his water Kamandalu. So he got his full body so strong that they could be striking thunderbolt. Now he became so proud. This develops pride in him. Janmeshwarya Sruta Srivir Edhamana Madapuma Naiva Ratya Vidhatu Vaitva Kinchana Gocharam, that we are speaking. If someone gets such strong body and very beautiful body, handsome looking body, his body looked like molten gold, that develops pride. Pride is demoniac nature. Dambha, darpo, abhimano, parusya. Dambha, pride, arrogance, conceit, these are the demoniac nature. So, but those who are devotees, they are very humble. Trunadapi sunichina, taroriva sahisnuna, amanina manadeno, kirtanya sada hari. Mahaprabhu's teaching. They are humbler, much humbler than a blade of grass on the street. They are as tolerant as a tree. They don't demand respect, rather they pay respect to one and all. This is nature of the devotees, this devotional, this divine qualities. And devotees do tapasya for the development of bhakti. But development of bhakti. 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam says this thing. Dharma satya dayapito vidyava tapasvanita madbhaktyapito atmano na samyak punapihi. 11th, 14, 22 verse says this thing. Do you understand? Dharma, satya, daya, vidya, tapasya. Madbhaktyapito atmano na samyak punapihi. Dharma means so-called dharma, religiosity, satya, truthfulness, daya, mercy, tapasya, this penance, austerity, jnana, knowledge. These are very good things. But if all this will be executed without bhakti, then all these things will not be able to cleanse your heart, to purify your heart. Do you understand? It will never cleanse your heart. Though tapasya, Rishabdev says, tapadivyam putraka suddhet brahma saukhyam tu anantam. You undergo tapasya, O my dear sons, thereby your heart will be cleansed, purified. The tapasya enables one to purify the heart. But that tapasya, if it is done without bhakti, then it cannot cleanse the heart. Rather, it will accumulate more and more filth. One will develop demoniac nature, demoniac qualities. Therefore, these demons also undergo tapasya. And there are many, many instances where devotees have underwent tapasya. You'll find in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Nanda Kinga Karoda Brahman, Sreya Eva Mahodayam, Jasodava Mahabhaga, Papujasyastanam Hari. Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, O Brahman, O Brahmana, Sukadeva Goswami, what that Nanda Maharaj, what tapasya that Nanda Maharaj has done, what tapasya that Mother Jasoda had done, thereby they got Lord Hari or Krishna as their son, the Krishna who sucked to the breast of Jasodamata. Do you understand? Because this is the result of tapasya. They have underwent, they must have undergone very severe austerity and tapasya. As a result, they got Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, as their son. Similarly, you'll find also this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison house of Kansa, he spoke 3 bars. Do you understand? How? For 3 bars, he has been coming as their son. He said, first bar, they were Prusni and Sutapa. Devaki was Prusni and Vasudeva was Sutapa. Both of you were ordered by Brahma to create progeny. Then you first underwent severe austerities and penance by controlling your senses. You spent 12,000 celestial years performing difficult activities of tapasya in consciousness of me, Krishna consciousness. They underwent such severe austerity and tapasya for 12,000 celestial years. This Prusni and Sutapa in Krishna consciousness. That means with bhakti. So they got Krishna as their son. In past birth, they were Prusni and Sutapa, and Krishna, the Supreme Lord, came as their son as Prusni Garabha. The second birth, they were Aditi and Kashyapa. Do you understand? So they got the Supreme Lord as their son, that is known as Upendra or Vamandev. And this birth, you are Vasudeva and Devaki. That is what. Because of this tapasya, so 12,000 years, celestial years, they underwent severe tapasya and austerity in Krishna consciousness to get Krishna as their son. This is what the proper tapasya. Tapasya is meant for. Tapasya is not meant for this, for getting such strength, such bodily vigor or strength, and thereby develop such pride. The demons now become so proud, puffed up, that now they challenge the Lord, conquer 3 worlds, and create so much troubles, so much persecutions, so much destructions to the world. This is demoniac nature. Also you'll find in Gita, Krishna has said that asastra vihitam ghoram tapyanti je tapojana dambhankara sanjukta khamaraga balanita karsayanta sarirastam bhuta grama chetasah mang chaivanta sarirastam tan vidhi asura nishchaya. Isn't it? Prajapati Prabhu. Do you understand? This is Gita, 17th chapter, 5th and 6th verse. Krishna says, those who undergo severe austerities and penances, not recommended in the scriptures. That is what. Scripture says, you should undergo penance and austerities in Krishna consciousness. That is recommended in scripture. But here it says, asastra vitam ghoram tapyanti jeta podana dambhankara sanjukta kamaraga valanita karsayanta sarirastham bhuta grama chetasah Mangsaivanta sarirastam tan vidhi asura nishchayan. Those who undergo severe austerities and penances, not recommended in scripture, performing them out of pride, egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. Demons do like that. Demons undergo such penance, tapasya. Thereby they torture the material elements of the body as well as super soul dwelling within. They do it. Thereby Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead, is not pleased. This is what tapasya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also you'll find, Chaitanya Bhagavata also you'll find, Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe tapa kari, na kari ho bado, Prabhu kahe tapa kari. विष्णु भक्ति सर्वश्रेष्ठ जानो हो केवल भक्ति सर्वश्रेष्ठ जानो हो केवल कोटि जन्म जदि जोग यज्ञ तप करे कोटि जन्म जदि जोग भक्ति बिना कौन कर्मे फल नहीं धरे ती बिना कौन कर्मे फल नहीं धरे चैतन्य भागवत महाप्रभु से प्रभु कहे तप करी ना करियो बड़ो डोंट अंडरगो सच सिवियर austerity and tapasya to get this bodily strength, bodily vigor. Do you understand? And as a result of which you will become so proud and puffed up. Challenge the Lord, which is detrimental to bhakti. Do you understand? Don't undergo such tapasya. Vishnu bhakti sarvasreshto janaha kevala. Vishnu bhakti or Krishna bhakti is the topmost achievement, and undergo tapasya for the attainment or achievement of that Vishnu bhakti or Krishna bhakti. कोटि जन्म यदि जोग यज्ञ तप करे भक्ति बिना कौन कर्मे फल नहीं धरे. If crores of lives one undergoes such tapasya, such yoga, ashtanga yoga, mystic yoga, and tapasya for crores of lives, without bhakti, he cannot get any good result. Do you understand? कौन कर्म में फल नहीं धरे. Those who are मूढ़, महामूर्ख, demons, rascals, most ignorant persons, those who don't know this Bhagavad Tattva, they undergo such severe austerity and penances for getting this bodily strength, vigor, and achieve some yogic perfection from tapasya, which is demoniac nature, They are mahamurkha, great rascals, ignorant fools. They don't know this Bhagavad Tattva. This tapasya is meant only for the development of bhakti. Therefore, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, the tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpan. If you undergo tapasya, undergo that tapasya for me, for my pleasure, for my satisfaction, or for the result of tapasya for me. That is it. Those who are really intelligent, really wise, they undergo such tapasya for the pleasure of Krishna, development of Krishna. Krishna bhakti also, many instances are there. Many shastric injunctions are there. You'll find in Mundaka Upanishad also you'll find avidyayang bahudha vartamana vayam krutartha ityabhimanyanti bala jat karmino na pravedayanti raga tena tura kino loka asyavanti. This Mundaka Upanishad says. Do you understand? It says here, avidyayang, out of ignorance. The demons are in complete ignorance. So out of ignorance, those who undergo such tapasya and get such result as this Hiranyakashipu got now, the boon from Brahma, you'll get such boon that you'll never die. Do you understand? You'll never die. He asked for that boon. Give me that boon that I'll never die, I'll become immortal. Brahma said, I am not immortal. How can I give you such boon of immortality? So in a roundabout way, he will get that boon. I will not be killed by any weapons. I will not be killed during daytime. I will not be killed during night time. I will not be killed in land. I will not be killed in water. I will not be killed in sky, space, isn't it? I will not be killed by any human being or demon or animal or demigod like this. Huh? I will not be killed inside the room or outside the room like this. Huh? Roundabout way. You would get such boon from Brahma. That means immortality. I'll become immortal. I'll conquer everybody. I'll conquer the 3 worlds. I'll kill everybody. I'll enjoy. I'll survive and I'll enjoy all the opulences, enjoyments here. Nobody will. I'll never give share to anybody. This is demoniac nature. So he underwent. Haribol, Prabhu, please come forward. Don't lean against. Then this drowsiness comes. Srimad Bhagavata is not different from Krishna. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasra. Come forward. It's as good as Krishna. It's not different from Krishna. So one should, with concentrated attention, hear Krishna Katha. You understand? With concentrated attention, hear Krishna Katha. Because Krishna descends. This is not different from Krishna. Krishna Katha and Krishna is not different. Krishna descends to Sabda Brahma, isn't it? Krishna descends to this Katha. Sabda Brahma enters into the ear and goes to the deep, to the heart. This is what? This Bhagavad Shravan, result of Bhagavad Shravan. So one should hear in that way. Otherwise you'll commit offense. Here Mundaka Upanishad says, Avidyayam bahudha vartamana vayam krutartha ityabhimanyanti bhala jat karmino na pravedayanti raga tena turakshyo lokasya bante. Those who are in complete ignorant persons, they undergo such tapasya, austerity, and they achieve such result as Hiranyakashipu achieved that they think that now I am successful, I have achieved success. They develop such abhiman, conceit. Dambhadarpa abhimana, this conceit is one of the demoniac natures. This demoniac nature. They cannot understand what is the real success of life. What is the real success of life? Yes, human life. Yes, to develop Krishna consciousness, to achieve the highest level of consciousness, isn't it? Prajapati Prabhu. Highest level of consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness. There are 5 levels of consciousness, do you know? 5 levels of consciousness. Do you know? What's your name, Prabhu? Arjun Das, Prabhu, do you know? 5 levels of consciousness. Avrita Chetana, Sankuchita Chetana, Mukulita Chetana, Vikachita Chetana, Purna Vikachita Chetana. In English we say covered consciousness, Avrita Chetana, covered consciousness. Then Sankuchita Chetana, shrunken consciousness. Shrunken. Do you understand? Shrunken consciousness. Mukulita Chetana, budding consciousness. It's like flower bud form. Budding consciousness. Then Vikachita Chetana, blossoming consciousness. The bud blossoms. Then Purna Vikachita Chetana, completely blossoming consciousness. It's Purna Vikachita Chetana. That is the highest level of consciousness. That we say complete Krishna consciousness. Purna Krishna Chetana. That is the success of human life. Do you understand? Out of these 5 levels of consciousness, first 2 levels, that is covered consciousness and sunken consciousness. During this, within these two levels of consciousness, all other species come, then human beings. Do you understand? All come under that. The aquatics, the birds, the beasts, the flowers, what you say, trees, mountains, they are Abruta Chetana. It's covered consciousness. Do you understand? All the insects, the worms, all this, they come under these two levels of consciousness. Human beings come under these three levels of consciousness. Budding consciousness, and blossoming consciousness, and completely blossoming consciousness. That is the highest level. That is the success of life. Do you understand? That is the success of life. In whatever level of consciousness you are, the opportunity has been given to you now in this human birth to achieve the first level of consciousness, that is completely blossoming consciousness, this is completely Krishna consciousness, we say that thing. Do you understand? The other species, other than human beings, do you understand? They cannot, they have no such opportunity to attain the highest level of consciousness, but you have. You have, as a human being. And you, if you are serious, and if you are very eager, how to achieve the success of my human life, you should undergo such tapasya for the achievement of that highest level of consciousness, complete Krishna consciousness. Don't undergo such tapasya as demons do. As a result, they degrade. And their consciousness becomes low consciousness. That is Abruta Chetana or sunken consciousness, covered consciousness, sunken consciousness, like animals. That's demoniac. This tapasya is such a thing. If it is not executed according to the recommendation of Shastra, then it will give you the reverse result. Do you understand? So, demons, that Mundaka Upanishad says. So, these demons, the ignorant fools, those are in complete ignorance, they undergo such tapasya and also they perform such activities, as a result of which they get such demoniac, they develop such demoniac nature and they develop such pride and conceit of human, that we have achieved some success now. Now this Hiranyakashipu will think, oh, I have achieved now success. I'm immortal. Nobody can kill me in these three worlds. This is what this Mundaka Upanishad says. Also you'll find this Bhagavad also says, Jamadi bhirjogapathe kama lobhata muhu mukunda sevaya jadapata tada dhatma na samyati. First canto Bhagavad says, those who undergo this mystic yoga, perform mystic yoga sadhana, jama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi. Do you understand? The demons do that thing. Demons do such austere sadhana, this Ashtanga yoga sadhana. Thereby, this is not recommended. Bhagavatam says, Jamadi virjogapathe kama lobhatamuhu mukunda sevaya jadapato tatha dhatma no samyati. Atma means this mind. One of the meanings of Atma is also mind. Do you understand? Your mind will never be peaceful, will never be free from material thoughts, filthy thoughts, contaminations. If you perform this Ashtanga yoga, do you understand? The mind cannot be controlled. Cannot be controlled. This is very, very detrimental to the development of bhakti. Mukunda sevaya jadapatadhatmana samyati. If you will be engaged in the loving service of Lord Mukunda, Lord Krishna, then mind will be cleansed of all material thoughts, nasty thoughts, and will be completely controlled and peaceful. But if you undergo this Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, the mystic yoga process, you cannot control your mind. You will never be able to control your mind, never be able to make your mind free from materialistic thoughts and be purified. It's detrimental to bhakti. Do you understand? And demons, they generally undergo this type of tapasya, yoga sadhana. It is said that pranayam, they do pranayam. Antaraya vadante danjunjata yogamuttamam maya sampadyamanasya kala khepana hetava. 11th canto of Bhagavatam says. Krishna says this thing to Uddhava. These are detrimental. This such of penance and austerities and sadhana, Ashtanga Yoga sadhana, are detrimental to the development of my bhakti. Do you understand? Maya sampadyamanasa kalakhepana hetava. Those who are my dear devotees, they don't do such thing. This is unnecessary wastage of time. Unnecessary stage of time. They don't do. They develop another devotion unto me, loving, they engage themselves, loving, in rendering loving services unto me, thereby they get supreme perfection. Automatically they get all the results achieved by recommended tapasya. Do you understand? That he says. So devotees don't do these things. The demons, they do this tapasya. Those are not recommended in Shastra. Also, in Bhavartha Deepika and Tika, Jiva Goswami has given, and this 10th canto, 10th, 87, 27 verse. Tapantu tapei, prapatantu parvata, datantu tirthani, patantu chagaman, jadantu jageir, vivadantu badeir, haring vina naiva mriting taranti. Do you understand? Tapantu tapi. The demons undergo very severe state penance by giving so much pain to their body, to the 5 elements that is stated here, and to super soul inside. And what do they do? Prapatantu parvata. They go to the top of the mountain and thereby they fall down. Do you understand? On the ground, that is prapatantu parvata. Datantu tirthani. Sometimes they also visit some places, holy places also. Do you understand? Tirthadatra. They also study Veda. As an example, you can take the example of Ravana. Ravana, great demon. That is deed. Do you understand? The demons also do like that. That it says. Patantu chagaman, jadantu jageir, vibadantu badeir, harim vina naiva mriting taranti. One may do like that. And he may also perform many types of yajna. He may come out as a great logician. The Mayavadis, the impersonalists, they are also demons. They are also demons because they don't develop Krishna Bhakti. They think themselves, oh, I am Lord. This Hiranyakashipu will now say, when his devotee son Prahlad will say, oh, Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is the supreme. You are not supreme. Lord Vishnu is supreme. I am supreme. Do you understand? I have conquered 3 worlds. When Prahlad will say, Vishnu Triyadhisa, Vishnu is the master of 3 worlds. Oh, I am the master of 3 worlds. I have conquered 3 worlds. He will say like that. Challenge. He will challenge Lord Vishnu and Krishna. Such a demoniac nature. Do you understand? That is says. Tarka. These Mayavadis, they think themselves as we are one with the Lord. We are equal to the Lord. Narayana, I have become Narayana. When they take up sannyas, they say, Om Namo Narayanaya. I have become Narayana, one with Narayana. And they are such logicians. They put forth their material logic and argument in such a way that you will be bewildered, you see, confused. In such a way they put forth their mental logic and arguments. Do you understand? In such a way. That's it. They create word jugglery. They create word jugglery. These demons, these Mayavadis. They know Shastra. Very proficient in Vedic Shastra. The demons, the Mayavadis. But they create word jugglery. Do you understand? One word has many, many meanings. Many, many meanings. As for example, Narada. Do you understand? Narada. Narada? What do you mean by Narada? Narada? Yes. The son of Brahma, great devotee, great sage, isn't it? Great devotee also, Narada Muni. We understand in this. But what do they say? They create what juggler says, Narada, Narada, Dasyasa Narada. Na means not, Rada means teeth. One who has no teeth is Narada. A teethless person is Narada. This is what jugglery. Do you understand? Yes. They create such word jugglery. Do you understand? These demons, these Mayavadis. So, what is the real meaning of the word and what is applicable in what place? That those are bona fide acharyas. They come in bona fide disciplic succession. Those have heard this from their acharyas. Coming in bona fide disciplic succession, they say what is the real meaning here. Do you understand? But these demons, the Mayavadis, they juggle the word. They create jugglery, word jugglery. Do you understand? They know Shastra, they know Veda, but they put in such a way, they bewilder people. They put people in confusion. Do you understand? They don't speak about Krishna Bhakti. They explain the Shastra or Veda in such a way that it's detrimental to Bhakti. This is demoniac nature. That is says, Tapantu tapi prapadantu parvata, datantu tirthani patantu chagaman, jadantu jage, vivadantu bade, harim vinana iva, mrutum taranti. Whatever you may do, but without taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari, nobody can conquer death. Nobody can cross over this dreadful ocean of materialistic existence. So, Hiranyakasipu underwent such severe tapasya, austerity. As a result, he got such a boon from Brahma that will become immortal. His body became so strong that it could bear the striking of thunderbolts. Such body, such strength he got. But at last, he can't conquer death. At last, Hiranyakasipu, this Lord Nrsimhadev would come out, kill him. Do you understand? Hiranyakasipu Bhakshaha, Shiratanka Nakhalaye. But he had gotten that boon, that with no weapon. He would not be killed with any weapon. So, Lord will come out as Nrsimhadev, who is not a human being, not an animal, half human being, half lion. Wonderful creature. And with his pointed nail. Do you understand? Shiratanko nakhalaye. That is very sharp pointed nail. With that very sharp pointed nail, tear upon his abdomen and kill him. Placing him on his lap, not inside the house, not outside the house, at the threshold. It's not day and night, it's just juncture of day and night. Because he had gotten such boon from Brahma as a result of his severe austerity. Do you understand? But at last, he cannot become immortal. He couldn't conquer death. He says, Harim vina naiva mrityum taranti. Without taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari, no one can become immortal or conquer death. Whatever tapasya, whatever sadhana, Ashtanga Yoga sadhana, Vedic study, one may do, he cannot conquer death. Do you understand? This is what also you'll find. Many instances are there. And you'll be bewildered. You'll be confused whether is a demon or a real sannyasi. Do you understand? The demons. As Ravan came in the form of a sannyasi, and also the pseudo sannyasis, Kapalikas. Do you know Kapalika? They put a skull and a staff and put on red cloth like this. There's demons. They have undergone very severe austerity and tapasya and achieved very wonderful perfection, yogic perfection. They can assume any form. Do you understand? Assume any form. This is demon. They get such perfection for undergoing such severe austerity and tapasya, pleasing demigods like Shiva and Brahma. But one should only please Lord Krishna and Hari. That is the supreme perfection of life. One should not undergo tapasya for the pleasure of any demigod or getting such food. You'll find also this in this Upakhyan episode of Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. You know, Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. Vasishtha is great sage, and he was very sober. But Vishwamitra was a king first. Vasishtha had a Kamadhenu, will desire fulfilling cow, like Surabhi cow, Kamadhenu. Whatever you desire, that cow will give. When Vasishtha came, I'm saying Vishwamitra was king first, great, powerful king. He came and became guest in Vasishtha's ashram. And Vishwamitra came with all his followers, all his soldiers, ministers, commander-in-chiefs, servants, drummers, all. He came and became a guest in Vasishtha's ashram. And Vasishtha had that Kamadhenu, will desire fulfilling cow, who could give everything. So that Kamadhenu gave everything. Whatever food is required for them, whatever residences are required, whatever facilities are required, comforts are required, everything Kamadhenu provided, gave. Vasishtha was living in a forest, in a cottage. He had no wealth, nothing. But when Vishwamitra saw that he could provide us such nice facilities, nice food, whatever needed for us, he became amazed. How could he do it? Then he understood that he had this Kamadhenu, this cow, who could give such thing. Then he wanted, why should you keep such cow with you? Better give it to me, I am king. But very good thing, best thing, it should be possessed by king. But Vasishtha said, you cannot take her. What? I cannot take her? Yes, I have strength. I'll take her by strength. I'll like to try. Vasishtha, as soon as this Vishwamitra tried to take her, take that Kamadhenu from her body, you see, manifested many soldiers, warriors. You understand? Many great soldiers, warriors came out from her body, from that Kamadhenu. And there was a very severe fight. At last he was defeated. That Vishwamitra was defeated. Then Vishwamitra could understand how this Vasishtha, so sober person, very meek and mild, sober, how he had obtained such potency, such, miraculous, yogic what do you say, perfection. He then couldn't, he had undergone some yoga and tapasya. So he had achieved such. He had now in possession of such cow, Kamdhenu, and he had also in possession of very miraculous yogic perfection. So I will become a yogi, do tapasya, very severe tapasya, and I will achieve such perfection. So he gave up his ruling, his administration, and kingship. Then he underwent tapasya for 60,000 years. Very severe tapasya and austerities he underwent, 60,000 years. You understand? And achieved such miraculous yogic perfection that by dint of that, he could create a heavenly planet. A heavenly planet, he could create such planet. Such miraculous yogic perfection he achieved, that Vishwamitra. Now he thought, as Mundaka Upanishad, I was quoting Mundaka Upanishad, he thought, now I have come out successful now. You understand? He developed such concept of Vimana. Then he came to Vasishtha. And then Vasishtha addressed him as Rajarsi. He didn't address him as Brahmarsi. Because he has not achieved that Brahma Tattva Gyan. He had never achieved that thing. He is so proud, he has developed such pride, he is so puffed up, that's demoniac nature he had achieved as a result of his tapasya. This demoniac nature. So Vasishtha didn't address him as Brahmarsi. Said, all right, Rajarsi, please take seat. So he became so angry. Oh, he's not addressing me as Brahmarsi? Do you understand? So he became angry. So he killed 100 sons of Vasishtha. 100 sons he killed. It's demoniac nature. He has not conquered anger, not become sober. Do you understand? So puffed up, so proud, but he has miraculous perfection, yogic perfection, by undergoing such severe austerity and yoga. So once there was, and he made an ashram just close to Vasishtha's ashram. I lived there. Once in Vasishtha's ashram, there was no salt. Vasishtha's wife was Arundhati. Do you understand? Arundhati said, there is no salt in ashram. Now you go and get some salt from Vishwamitra's ashram. Oh, he killed my 100 sons. Shall I go there? But Vasishtha has not such thing. Do you understand? No enviousness at all. There's such a sober says. So many times he came to Vasishtha, but Vasishtha didn't address him as Brahmarsi, said Rajarsi. Then he challenged, what is that? You are not addressing me as Brahmarsi. Have I not gotten that? The position of Brahmarsi? Do you think you are superior to me? Am I not superior to you? I have achieved such strength, yogic, miraculous yogic perfection. Who is great? Am I not greater than you? It's challenging like that. It's challenging nature, it's demoniac nature. But he had undergone 60,000 years of penance, tapasya, sasa. Then they say, all right, who is great? Vasishtha says, I am not great. I am lowest of the low. I am not nothing. All right, who is great? Let us be decided. Then let it be decided. Let us go to Anantadev. Let us go to Anantadev. Let him decide. So they both of them went to Anantadev. Anantadev was carrying this material universe on one of his hoods, who lives in Patal, isn't it? Anantadev. So they approached Anantadev, and Vishwamitra said, Anantadev, you please now decide whether I am great or he is great. I am superior or he is superior, Vasishtha. Anantadev said, all right, you see, on my head, I am carrying this all material universes, so heavy. So if any one of you can carry this universe and relieve me, then I'll think it up and decide. So immediately Vishwamitra came out, oh, yes, I'll carry. Because he was so puffed up, proud of his yogic perfection. Huh? But he couldn't carry. The universe began to shake, couldn't carry. Do you understand? Then Vasishtha's term was there. Yes, that Vishwamitra first came out and thought, yes, I gave all the result of my tapasya, of my sadhana now. Thereby I can carry this universe, relieve you from such burden. But he couldn't. Then Vasishtha came, next turn was Vasishtha's. Vasishtha came, I gave the result of my sadhu sangha, satsanga. And then he carried it. There was no, the material universe remained fixed. There is no shaking at all. Then Anantadev was relieved of his burden. Then Vishwamitra asked, now you please tell. Now you are relieved of the burden, now tell who is greater. Another, can't you understand who is greater? You couldn't carry, he carried. So can't you think of who is greater? You or he? You see, this is what. So this is a story about Vasishtha, an episode of Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra had undergone 60,000 years of severe austerity and penance. That's such miraculous effects, yogi perfection. Because, but he was not Brahmarshi. Vasishtha didn't address him as Brahmarshi. Always addressed him as Rajarshi. Do you understand? Because he is not so sober, he had already developed that only demoniac nature. So pride, so conceit, so proud. Do you understand? That is developed pride and conceit. Dambha, darpa, himana, parusya. As Gita says, these are the demoniac nature. You understand? This tapasya is such a thing, if it is not executed or done according to recommendation of the Shastra, then it will be demoniac. Tapasya. The demons also undergo such severe austerity and tapasya. It's not recommended in Shastra. Therefore, Shastra says, Krishna says, all Upanishads say, tapasya should be executed for the development of Krishna Bhakti, for the purification of the heart and mind. You understand? Then that is real tapasya. Jagyadana tapakarma not tajyam iti. 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. One should not give up. Jagyadana tapa. Jagya, you understand? Sacrifice, dana, charity and tapasya. Do you understand? One should not give up. One should do, perform. Because that will help you in purifying your heart and consciousness. But the demons undergo such tapasyas, but not recommended in Shastras. Asastra vihitam ghoram tapyanti je tapojana. That's in 17th chapter Bhagavad Gita says the demons, they are asuri, the demons. They don't undergo tapasya in Krishna consciousness, but development of Krishna bhakti. Rather, development of pride, achievement of such miraculous effect of Yoga Siddhi and such strong body as he achieved. Thereby they will challenge the whole world. Even challenge Lord Vishnu and Krishna. It's demoniac. Yes, thank you. Any question?
I understand from your talk last today that tapasya has been to the satisfaction of Krishna.
Yeah.
And then we were speaking about the Ashtanga Yoga system, how it's detrimental to bhakti.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that because you're trying to perform some steroids and maybe prestige or power. But what if, like, devotees using maybe Hatha Yoga, performing Hatha Yoga?
You see, Bhagavad says this thing. Vadara antaraya. This is detrimental to bhakti. Jamadibhir jogapathe antarayo vadanti. The Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, this Pranayam, Sadhana, breathing control like this. These are detrimental for Bhakti Yoga. Do you understand? My devotees don't do it. They don't do it. They are completely dependent on me. Completely they have taken shelter at my lotus feet. Krishna is Yogeshwara, is the master of all yogas, isn't it? Master of all yogas, Yogeshwara. Jatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Jatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Last verse of Bhagavad Gita says, Sanjaya says this thing. Yogeshwara Krishna. Krishna is Yogeshwara. Is the master of yoga. Huh? Master of all yogic power. Yog Siddhi, isn't it? He's master. If someone takes shelter of that Yogeshwara Krishna, completely surrender, you understand? The Krishna is pleased. You understand? Why they will undergo such yogas? Ashtanga yogas, Jama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam. Kala khetava, kala. Kala khepana hetava is unnecessary. Killing time, wasting time, unnecessary wasting time. Human birth, you have human birth were rarely achieved, and very short span of life you have. Very short period. Why unnecessary waste time in this thing, which is detrimental to bhakti? You cannot achieve the goal of your life thereby. Do you understand? If you completely surrender unto Krishna, the Krishna will take charge of you, complete charge. Yoga khemam vahamyaham. This body is meant for rendering loving services into Krishna, isn't it? Hrusikena, hrusikesa sevanam, bhakti ruchyate. Hrusikena, hrusikesa sevanam, bhakti ruchyate, Rupa Goswami says. The body, the senses are meant to serve Hrishikesh, the controller, master of the senses, Hrishikesh, Krishna. That is bhakti. This body is not meant for enjoyment, bodily comforts, bodily enjoyment. Body is meant for rendering loving service unto Hrishikesh, Krishna, to please him. Yes.
Buddhists have told me that Srila Prabhupada said, and
How Prabhupada will say something detrimental to Bhagavatam, detrimental to bhakti. Prabhupada always speaks from Bhagavatam. Bhagavad says no.
Bhakti Yoga be done for the health purposes, so someone can render better service.
When this health body is meant for Krishna's service, it's Krishna's property. The Krishna will take care of it. It's Krishna's property, isn't it? Is it your property? It's Krishna's property. Because through this body you will render loving service unto him, isn't it? Is there any utilization of this body other than this? Is there any utilization of this body other than this? Rendering loving service unto Krishna? No, not utilization. Demons utilize this body for their own enjoyment, bodily comfort and enjoyment. But devotees don't do it. Devotees utilize their whole body for giving enjoyment to Krishna, not for their own enjoyment. Isn't it? Tava sukha saro. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Tava sukha saro. For only your happiness and enjoyment, I utilize my body. Prabhu tava pada juge ei nibedono. Nahi magi deho sukha vidya dhana jana. Do you understand? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has this song. Oh Lord, oh Kalachandji, I have this prayer at your lotus feet. Nahi magi deho sukha vidya. I am not asking for my bodily comfort and enjoyment. Please don't give me any bodily comfort and enjoyment. Give me bodily discomfort. Then I will Prabhupada say, yes, do this and get bodily comfort. Then it will become proud, become so puffed up, it will develop pride. Such a nice body I have, vigorous body. We shall bear the striking of thunderbolt. Right? That's something demoniac nature. Why Prabhupada will say like that? Huh? Was Prabhupada doing that thing? No. Completely surrendered unto Krishna. It's his property. Huh? His body is his property. It's meant for his pleasure, not for my pleasure and my enjoyment, for his enjoyment. Bhakti vinoda koy tabas ghosara. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, oh Lord, it's for your enjoyment, not my enjoyment. Yes, what are you saying?
Devaki and Vasudeva
Yeah.
went to severe penances. 3 lifetimes of Krishna.
No, for 3 lifetimes they got Krishna as their son. But first birth, they underwent 12,000 celestial years. Do you understand that penance? First birth, 12,000 celestial years. Do you understand? In Krishna consciousness, to get Krishna as their son.
Yeah, okay. So when Krishna was born,
Yeah.
Krishna was taken to Vrindavan to Mother Yashoda.
Huh.
Grew up with Mother Yashoda and Maharaj.
Huh.
And Devaki did not have the chance to enjoy the child pastimes of Krishna.
Hmm.
So does that mean that Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj is superior to Devaki and Vasudeva?
Huh? I can't hear.
I said Devaki and Vasudeva did not have the chance
Huh.
to enjoy the child pastimes of Lord Krishna.
Mhm.
Whereas Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj had the
Yes, she is Jasodanandan. Krishna is Jasodanandan. Nandanandan. Then that is another tattva.
Yashoda, is Mother Yashoda superior to Devaki?
Definitely. 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 Then, because Krishna sucked to the breast of Jasoda, he didn't suck to the breast of Devaki. Isn't it?
So even in the Vatsalya Ras,
Yes, Vatsalya Ras, Jasoda's Vatsalya Ras is superior than that of Devaki. You see, when the Supreme Lord appeared in his 400 forms, Vishnu form there, isn't it? In prison house of Kansa. Huh? Then Vasudeva Devaki offered prayers, paid obeisances, isn't it? Huh? Oh, Supreme Lord, yeah, so many prayers are there in 10th canto. Bhagavatam will find. Vasudeva offered, Devaki offered, isn't it? They paid obeisances. They offered prayer. But Nanda and Jasoda have never paid obeisances, never offered prayers to Krishna. Rather, Jasoda bound him up. Suddha bhave brajeshwari kare bandhan. You naughty child. Huh? Creating so much stupidity. I'll bind you up, isn't it? Huh?
and between,
Jasoda Mata bound him up.
okay, between Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, is there any difference?
Huh?
Between Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, is there any difference for the Vatsalya Ras?
No. Same. Nanda Maharaj and Jasoda Mata have the same Vatsalya. No difference. He is Nanda Nandan and Jasoda Nandan, Krishna. But one who appeared in the prison house of Kansa as a son of Devaki and Vasudeva, he is Vasudeva. He is 400 form. Isn't it? Huh? His 400 form is Vasudeva. Huh? Vasudeva is one of the plenary portions of Krishna, isn't it? When Vasudeva took, then he became child. Then they requested, they prayed, you become child. So he became child. You understand? Then ordered, take me to Nanda Gokul. So Vasudeva took him. So Vasudeva took that Vasudeva, and at the same time, Jasoda Mata had given birth to Krishna there in Gokul. Had given birth one son, one daughter, two, twin. Do you understand? Jiva Goswami has mentioned that in Gopal Champu. Goswamis has mentioned that thing. So Vasudeva entered into Krishna. Do you understand? Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So when Krishna comes, all incarnations are there, isn't it? The killing of demons, Krishna never kills any demon. Krishna is always engaged in rough dance like this. You understand? See, he never kills demons. Vasudeva kills demons. You understand? That's the work of Vasudeva. He's the son of Vasudeva. He's 400 fold. So when Krishna comes, all incarnations are there. Vasudeva is there. Isn't it? So when Krishna kills demons, that is the work of Vasudeva. Do you understand me? And Vasudeva took Vasudeva there. And that Vasudeva entered into body of Krishna. Because Krishna is the source of all incarnations. That is Tattva. Do you understand? And so Mother Jasoda, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Jasoda's Vatsalya Ras is superior than that of Vasudeva and Devaki. Do you understand?
Is Mother Yasoda's parental love Krishna superior to Nanda Maharaj?
Huh?
Is Mother Yasoda's parental love Krishna superior to Nanda Maharaj?
No. They are equal. Yes. Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj and Jasoda. Jasoda Nandan, Nanda Nandan. Now, this Vatsalya Ras of Devaki Vasudeva and Nanda Jasoda, there is difference. You understand? That Vatsalya Ras is superior. So Krishna sucked to the breast of Jasoda, not breast of Devaki. You understand? Not breast of Devaki. That is what they are.
And then what about Putana? Putana, when he was killed by Krishna,
Yeah.
said that he was promoting the status of Mother Yasoda.
Because she came, Aho Baki Jos Tanakala Kutam, that verse is there. Aho Baki Jos Tanakala Kutam Jingasaya Satyap Sadvi Levegati Dhatrachitang Koba Dayalum Saram Radama. That verse is there. Baki. Baki means the sister of Bakasura is Putana. She came smearing very strong poison on her breast to kill Krishna. Do you understand? And she came and asked Jasnata, please give your son to me. I let him suck to my breast. Do you understand? And Krishna accepted it. Krishna sucked to her breast. Krishna sucked to the breast of Jasoda Mata. Krishna also sucked to the breast of Baki, Putana. Do you understand? Though Putana had such evil motive, but Krishna accepted the good thing. By sucking to the breast of Putana, he sucked her life. The Putana was killed. Kira sange prana sosile naso gola Putana. By sucking to her breast, Krishna sucked his life. Do you understand? So Putana was killed. And Krishna gave him that position, the position of his mother, Jasoda Mata. Do you understand? She got such position because she did the work of mother. Do you understand? She allowed Krishna to suck her breast as Jasoda Mata. So Krishna accepted such good thing and gave her that place where Jasoda Mata's position is there. Do you understand? Krishna is so merciful. He only accepts the good thing. Because she did the work of the mother. Nurse, mother, Dhatri. Do you understand me? Prajapati Prabhu? Do you understand? Yes. You understood? Yes. That verse is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Aho Vakijastana Kala Kutam Jingha Sayastyapya Sadvi Levegati Dhatra Chitanka Vaga Dayalu Sarum Brahma. That's the verse. That Mukunda Datta uttered this verse before whom? Yes?
If this question is inappropriate, please don't answer it.
Yes, he asked that thing.
Destruction of Vasishtha Vishnu Muni made me think of our godmothers who assumed the post of gurus after Srila Prabhupada's departure. And many of them now have taken tumble from that exalted position to ending up without a head or a jail or so many things.
Because they developed such pride. That's pride. It's demoniac nature. Popped up. Do you understand? No humility. Do you understand? No humility. Trunadapi sunichina taroriva svaisnuna omanina manodena kirtanya sadahari. Huh? Mahaprabhu's teaching. Think yourself much humbler than a blade of grass on the street. But the question of pride. No question. That is demoniac nature. Someone thinks also. That is said. Ami se Vaishnava e buddhi hoile omani nahava ami. Pratishtha sasi hridaya dusiva hoiva nirayagami. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. If this thought enters into your mind, oh, I am Vaishnava, I am a great guru, I am a great sadhu, I am a great acharya. Do you understand? If this thing enters into your mind, then you cannot become a mani. You cannot pay respect, you demand respect. Hey, pay respect. Bow down. You rascal, don't you know? Who am I? It's a demoniac nature now. This is pride. How you are a mani? You are commanding. You are not commanding respect, you are demanding respect. Pratishtha sasi hridaya dusiva hoiva nirogami. Then I'll run after this name, fame, worship and prestige. I cannot become a mani. Thereby I'll go to hell. My heart will be polluted. Do you understand? Do you understand? He's so puffed up, so proud. Is not so that? This is demoniac. And outwardly a Vaishnava, sadhu. Isn't it? Yes. Therefore I told that story of Vasishtha Vishwamitra. All right, thank you.